Before I could leave for my epic journey around the world, there were still a few tasks that needed to be completed, including installing a brand new navigation system from B&G. And here I am at the top of the mast installing a new wind sensor. My friend here is helping me run the lines down to the mast. And the finished product, the brand new B&G chart plotter. After spending a lot more money on maintenance items than I had expected, it was time to go back to work for 28 days. So here I am driving a vessel that I work on in the Gulf of Mexico, and here doing some cargo operations. Finally, it was back to the Dancing Walrus after 28 days. I had someone come and do some fiberglass repair on my helm station after having to cut a big hole in it to install the big chart plotter. And then I wanted to get the boat looking spick and span, so I had some detailers come and polish the whole boat. At last, it was time to have some fun with the boat, so I and a few friends took it out into the Intracoastal and anchored out, and we had a grand old time.
It's about 4 in the morning, and I'm going to make a run for it. I have 3 bridges to go under on the Intracoastal before I can get out to sea, so I'm leaving a little bit early. I want to get a head start, so I have as much daylight as possible. Bimini's about 55 miles away, and unfortunately the wind is coming from that direction. Here is Bimini, and here's Grand Bahama Island, and this is my course over ground right here. And whenever I try to tack, because of the Gulf Stream is going north, I can't go any better than about 60 degrees true on a starboard tack, or 300 degrees true on a port tack.
Finally, I had made it to Grand Bahama Island, where I anchored out and watched a magnificent sunset. The next morning, I went snorkeling in crystal clear Bahamian waters before departing for destinations unknown. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going yet, but I'm trying to make some way to the east, since I have a good wind out of the west right now, and the predominant wind is out of the east. So try to make as much easterly way as I can. Currently, there's no wind, otherwise known as becalmed. I'm just drifting with the current. Trying to make my way around Grand Bahama Island, heading towards the Virgin Islands. As it was now quite dark out and I was very tired, I decided to anchor off a little island called Great Stirrup Cay. The next morning, I went exploring Stirrup Cay, and what I found is that it's basically a cruise ship destination. So the cruise liners, they use it as their private island. The water at Great Stirrup Cay is super clear, and the bottom was all sand. It was a really great place to anchor. But not many fish. This little guy right here is the only fish I saw in all of Great Stirrup Cay. Once the anchor was up, it was time to go sailing. It's currently 12:28 in the morning, and I'm really tired, but I still have about 2 hours left until I can get to a shallow area to anchor. My intention is to eventually get to the east side of Eleuthera, and then that will put me in the North Atlantic Ocean, and then I'll be able to head south and east from there towards the Virgin Islands. 11 a.m. and I didn't get to sleep until 3 in the morning, so I got some much needed rest. I'm anchored off an island called Booby Island. You can see it right here. It's a very narrow island, and it's quite close to Nassau, which is right here. In fact, I can even see Atlantis. Later in the day, I went for a bit of a swim, and that was the most fish I've seen on the trip so far. There's a very little bit of coral, some sea fans, but during the course of my swimming I went and checked on the anchor, and I noticed that it was fouled, as you can see here. So I might have to break out the scuba equipment and try to untangle that mess. Later still, I decided to go exploring, so I hopped in the dinghy and headed over to Booby Island. But unfortunately, it's very, very rocky and jagged, so there was no place for me to make a safe landing. The following morning, I dove on the anchor. Thanks for watching, and be on the lookout for my next episode where I will make some stops in the Dominican Republic and make some new friends on my journey towards St. Thomas.